Hey, what's up, everybody? By now, you've probably realized that Dark and Darker is in its Alpha 5 playtest, even though they're in the midst of some legal stuff with Nexon. In the United States, the DMCA claim is still going, which means that we can't get the game through Steam. So how are we all able to play it? We are using what is known as BitTorrent. For those of you that are newer to gaming or possibly a little bit younger, you might not be familiar with BitTorrent. BitTorrent is a file-sharing, peer-to-peer file-sharing protocol that's been around since 2004. It's a little bit older. And it's mostly used as synonymous with file sharing for software piracy reasons. But in this case, it's legitimate because Iron Mace are the people that are actually putting the files out there. Now, for those of you that are concerned about the morality of all of this and whether or not it's going to contain malware, I am not approaching any of that in this video at all. This is literally an instructional video on how to obtain it. I would say that if you believe this to be questionable, it's not on me to decide that for you. You are all adults. Congratulations, you have now entered adulthood. You can make these decisions for yourself. I'm not trying to tell you what it is that you should or shouldn't be doing. I'm doing what I'm doing for me. You should do what is good for you, okay? All right, for the rest of you that want the instructional video on how to obtain this, that's where we're gonna start here. The two things that you need is the magnet link to be able to download it, because you need to know where the torrent's located. And the second thing that you need is a download client. There's a lot of different download clients, but the one that I am most familiar with is this one, uTorrent Classic. You can find it by typing uTorrent in Google, but there are others, and it depends on what it is that you like and don't like, whatever. I'm sure there are people in the comments that will say this one's better, that one's better. It doesn't matter. This is literally just the thing that I'm familiar with, whatever. Click on uTorrent Classic when you do the Google search. It will take you to this web page. Scroll down to the bottom where it says this compare screen, or you can just click on this thing at the top that says free download. It'll scroll you down there anyway. Click on the basic one, download now, close this NordVPN, whatever, and it will come up with this pop-up window where you want to save the installer, okay? Now, obviously, I already have it installed, so we're not going to bother going through all of that, but what you do is open up the installer, and it will guide you through the install process. Now, there is some bloatware that it will ask you if you want to install or not. Just make sure that you say no or skip everything. The end screen, the last screen, is the one that's most important. Now, this is going to ask you whether or not you want to add exceptions to your firewall, whether you want to use it associated with certain file types, if you want to start it when Windows starts up. You know, again, adults, make your own adult level decisions. But the one thing that I would recommend is that you make sure that this checkbox for magnet URIs is checked on. When you get it all installed, it will look something like this, okay? But for now, I'm going to close this because I want to show you how this works. The next thing that you want to do is go to the Iron Mace Twitter page. It's at Iron Mace Games, okay? Scroll down a couple of tweets, and there's this part right here that says Magnet. You want to highlight from where it says Magnet all the way down here to where it says Announce, and then copy it. Then go up to your browser search bar or whatever, type this in, Control-V, paste it, right-click, paste, whatever, hit Enter, and then this comes up. Now, the reason why we chose the checkbox for the Magnet URI thing is because we wanted to open uTorrent, which is what this is prompting us to do. Do we want to do this? Yes. It will open uTorrent, and in my case, because I've already got this installed, it will say you're trying to add something that's already on your list of torrents, because I've already got this. It's going to ask you where you want to save the files. Choose a nice, cozy file folder somewhere where you want to save it. Go to your options. In the case of uTorrent, and other torrent clients are similar, different, whatever, but again, this is the one that I'm familiar with. You want to go to your preferences, and in the bandwidth section down in this menu, it's going to have a base number right here. It's going to be like 200 and then like 50. Okay, you want to change this to like 500, 750, 1,000, depending on how good your internet is, and move this up from 50 to like 250. The reason why is because this is a peer-to-peer file sharing protocol. The way it works is for you, as you're downloading your files, the little pieces and parts that you've been downloading, you're also sharing to other people, just like the other 30,000 or whatever people are in this swarm that are all downloading little bits and uploading other little bits to other people. Okay, that's how it works. In this case, the more connections that you are capable of having, if you have more connections, your overall download rate will be higher. Now, instead of keeping this at some maximum upload and download rate, depending on what you want your upload and download rates to be, maybe you want unlimited download, but your upload limit you can set to, say, I don't know, 2,000 megabit per second, 2,000, or not megabit per second, kilobit per second. But that's it. That's the entire process. Once this download finishes, you will have the files on your PC, wherever it is that you saved them. What you want to do is go into the file folder that you have associated with the game, go through and use the Dark and Darker A5 installer, okay? That will install the game on your PC. Double-click the executable, the little shortcut or whatever, it will launch the game. Once you're in the game, it's going to prompt you for a username and password. If you've never played the game before, you type in whatever you want your username and want your passwords to be. When you do that, there will be another secondary menu that pops up with a little save icon next to it, a little floppy disk icon. And it's going to give you an alphanumeric string that's all like asterisks that you can't see. It doesn't actually create a file. What it's doing is it's giving you a key to be able to access the game should you forget your username and password for some unknown reason. But you obviously don't want to lose it. So what I would recommend is go into that file, the file folder where you had the installer set up, and make a small text file, open up Notepad, and copy and paste that into Notepad, and then just save it in your directory. That way, if you lose your password, you'll be able to access the game still. Otherwise, you're going to have to make another new account and start over from scratch, and that wouldn't be really fun. Anyway, guys, that's everything. Get in there, try out Dark and Darker. I'll see you in the dungeon. For sure, boy. I will see you in the dungeon. And I'm going to make another video talking about all the cool new stuff. So if you want to see what that video is about, please consider subbing the channel. I would very much appreciate it. Otherwise, come by and see me over twitch.tv/onepeg. I'll be live around 6 to 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning. And as always, love you all. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.